question as far as pickups go. The ban's happening. Anything out of the ordinary here? Not really. Parasite through the font. Wretched Hag Bubbles. I guess Hag a little bit. Usually not a ban-worthy hero initially, but decided to take it out here. Does that make sense to you think? Or, I mean, wow, they even go Magnus over Swiftblade too. That's true.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, Rhapsody's on the board though as well, and I think the hero is very, very strong. Obviously, Swiftblade is being picked up here now for BMG. I think it goes down to personal preference. I think Magnus is a very, very strong hero. In terms of overall, I think Swiftblade has got a little bit more power rankings than him as a hero. But like I said, if they're not very comfortable playing the hero of Swiftblade, then why pick Magnus? They obviously do get the Magnus Rhapsody combination. So, I mean, they sort of traded two good heroes for one in that respect. So.
Rhapsody into Ophelia, so as you said right there. I mean, at least they get Rhapsody themselves, but they're going to go Ophelia again on a BMG side. Again, it wasn't a victory by any means, but still hard to pass up the chance to get Ophelia at the same time. Now, again, Tempest is there. We'll see if we have yet the third Tempest game in a row. And I guess, actually, Tempest is 2-0 this series, I believe. Yeah, game one. Tankafed played it. Team two,
it's because these games have gone on long. Obviously, Tempest is far superior in the late game than Ophelia, so it's always going to be. And obviously, both games were quite long in that respect. So Tempest has been 2-0 in both those games.
By the way, I want to get this out of the way because again, I did say earlier I messaged slapped about the whole Parasite and Alchemist Bones thing and didn't get the chance to actually say what he told me. Basically, I'm not going to read it bit for bit, but. It came along the lines of you force one of their heroes to buy Alchemist Bones, and take 600 true damage to their face during team fights if they obviously choose to take out the Mauler. In his mind, he's not annoyed by it because it's actually fine as you force them to buy an item for 1,900 gold. Not only forcing them to go it instantly, allowing you to pressure more early, but also the fact that they have to go get the item. So, in his mind too, he also made the point that he really felt like Nullstone Gaming should have applied that pressure a lot more in that game number one and taken advantage of the fact that he actually went the Alchemist Bone. So
exactly, that's what I said obviously in game one.
Yeah.
Obviously they had the Dark Lady and the Tempest, very, very greedy pickups. They needed to push it, but they didn't.
So just to go over that again, I know to make a point that no, he didn't just simply say it depends. He actually
I was just joking.
He actually did give a good description of what he thought. Anyways, back to this game here. We got Drunken Master into Empath to finish things off. So yeah, Rhapsody Empath very, very strong, but hey, or Rhapsody Swiftblade is what I meant to say, very strong, but hey, they get Empath instead. And they can't be too disappointed in that. Now I wonder though if we're gonna see that Suicide Swiftblade, or is it gonna be more of a short lane? Maybe with the Empath. They might even try to go something aggressive depending on how Nullstone shapes up. We'll see what they do here. But into the bans we are. In fact, there you go, finishing up. Pharaoh, Gemini, Chipper, Dr. Kraken, Tempest taken out. So Tempest is taken out, so he'll just stay at 2-0 in this series, unfortunately. Not going to be seeing a third one. And now Nullstone with their follow-up pickup here, so... Yeah, they pick up Drunken Master themselves, but I guess that is against the Swiftblade.
Yeah, it's quite strong, obviously, and not only obviously because it can block the Swift Flashes, but obviously it goes through the Blade Frenzy because of the physical presence of the lunge in the respect. But obviously they've got most likely another secondary support to pick up, unless they want to run some kind of War Beast jungle, which is probably not out of the question, obviously, with Nullstone Gaming, but at the same time, I mean, whenever we actually saw War Beast jungle from what you got, yeah, he did well with it, but at the same time, I don't think they had that much success with it. I don't know if Quincy actually has the stats there, but I just don't think it can really work in this matter, really, in this time. So, most likely... Okay, I'm completely wrong.
Yeah, what you got's War Beast. Going to be coming out right here. Again, I kind of brought that up last game as well, I believe it even was, and the idea maybe see it, and hey, we're going to see it here again. It's Tempest being banned, why not go War Beast?
Yeah, obviously, this does actually lead to Nullstone Gaming having very, very sort of greedy lineup, particularly in the jungle. It wouldn't sort of surprise me if we do see an actually aggressive pseudo tri-lane coming out from BMG with the Ophelia, Swiftblade, and Empath in the long lane. And obviously, Nullstone Gaming, they'll need to pick up a hero that will be good to sort of give them some kind of sort of space. So that doesn't need a lot of farm. Bubbles and Pharaoh are both banned, so There's not really much other that can really work here. Just trying to think of what other heroes that can sort of provide space for like the War Beast and the Drunken Master, because they can't go another greedy hero, because otherwise they'll be in too much trouble. Obviously, Pebbles picks up here for BMG, so that kind of pushing sort of teamfight potential is definitely there. So if Nelson Gaming can obviously dodge it and not fall too far behind in Game 3, then they should be fine. But yeah, Kinesis can work as well. Obviously, it doesn't need too much farm.
I was going to say, you know what I'd like to see here on BMG is Pharaoh, actually. Pharaoh's not only good, good stopper against Rhapsody, but he's a suicide option, which they could definitely use here, but also great against Warbeast. I mean, the Mummy Walls go up, and Warbeast has trouble, being of assistance.
He's banned,
at least there's a duration. Is he banned? Okay. See, I had a point, and you have to ruin it.
Completely useless in the end. It's fun. Yeah, so it's going to most likely be a suicide hero, or some kind of solo, actually, because I still believe they might run an aggressive tri-lane. Because you should always try and punish the Warbeast jungle, because it's so passive, it can't really get off the ground, and if you give it space, then obviously it's going to be quite deadly in terms of the later stages, but it really does sort of struggle in the early sort of stages of the game. So I'd like to see them go aggressive, and at the same time, Rhapsody isn't the greatest of sort of boxing out Ophelia either. It's not like a Glacius or an Aluna in that respect, but yeah. So we'll have to see, and it's going to be Poliwag Priest. So again, Poliwag Priest coming back resurgent, so it's going to be a solo as well. So.
Getting more and more attention lately, man. I don't know what it is, but it's by multiple teams now. Sync again. They were doing it earlier yesterday. In fact, a short lane Poliwag we saw it in the earlier series today, and now here we are with BMG. In fact, Haxer going to be the one playing it actually. So Zibe, sure enough, gets his hands on that Swift blade. So to kind of answer a question from earlier, very likely going to be that suicide Swift blade. It looks like in the end.
From what it looks like, I'd like to actually see Swiftblade in the middle lane, 'cause I think it's going to be maybe Magnus and Rhapsody and Warbeast in the bottom lane, and then either a Drunken Master or Magnus in the middle lane, and then most likely it's going to be a Suicide Kinesis. So in that respect, I'd like to see BMG line up as Poliwag Priest in the short lane, Swiftblade or Pebbles in the middle lane, and then go aggressive pseudo tri lane. But at the moment, they are looking to actually go to sort of defend their own jungle, so maybe they are actually going to leave Warbeast to his own devices in his own jungle.
Hellhounds going on, as you would expect here, to kind of scout things out again. As we were talking about it, we're making a point that now Warbeast jungle not usually your jungle of choice, but what you got is known for playing this. He plays it very well, and you could argue with him one of the best ones on the scene right now in terms of making it work definitely for his team. So it's not too surprising to see it here with that said because of who is playing it, but you see the Hellhound's going to try to get some information. Make sure they're not ninjaing a Congo right here or something fishy's going on, which of course isn't the case. So lane's being set up. It looks like as you probably would expect in the end. Nothing out of the ordinary here. But yeah, short lane Poliwag Priest. I mean, again, the potential of this here. And I'm kind of wondering, why do you think they did go Poliwag? Maybe it's to help with CC against Warbeast, I guess.
Well, I mean, the main reason was because they wanted to have some kind of early game aggression, early game push, and Poliwag Priest is the perfect hero to have that. You were talking about Pharaoh or Bubbles, and they were both banned, but Poliwag Priest could arguably be better because he does offer that lockdown, but also obviously due to the Voodoo Wards does offer a lot of pushing potential on top of obviously the Ophelia. So I actually love the Poliwag Priest sort of lineup here in this sort of draft, because obviously we talked about Nullstone Gaming and they have a little bit of a greedy lineup with the Drunken Master, with the Warbeast, and this Poliwag Priest will be perfect to actually sort of capitalise on the greed that Nullstone Gaming has.
Yeah. I'll see how that plays out here. You got the middle lane right off the bat. Magnus gonna take some pressure once again. Pebbles, ooh, he went for the stalagmites. Here comes Swiftblade as well, so they were really hoping that would hit. But actually now Swiftblade needs to be careful not to tower dive too much. He's gonna take some good damage right here. Magnus can't do anything about it. Will he at least get a counter kill? No, he will not. Zibe hides in the trees. And good commitment from Zibe as well. I mean, a lot of players may have just backed off at the end as soon as stalagmites were missed, figuring that it just wasn't gonna happen. But he was like, no, we got this. And also good job by Empath drawing aggro of the tower. That was also another big part of that, of why it worked out.
Well,
so.
I mean, I thought it was a little bit of a misplay, honestly. Like, Cholo Simeon actually sort of manned up by the tower. I mean, I think he might have been alright, actually. Top lane, though.
Going in on Drunken Master with the assistance of Rhapsody. Poliwag Priest, he's outnumbered and thus going to fall. So they say, you know what, you're going to gank our middle lane. We'll gank your solo at the top lane.
Exactly. A lot of these early sort of level 1 ganks, actually, we don't see that too much, but it definitely should be used a lot more than honestly I think we see here in the competitive scene. So some good early kills already coming out from BMG and also in gaming actually. If we look about the other matchups though, Kinesis versus Swiftblade, Kinesis would definitely actually have this advantage, but seeing as Swiftblade did get the Bloodlust kill here, he's actually 300 GPM and he's already picked up boots here, so he's going to actually have quite a strong laning phase in the bottom lane already.
You see Warbeast again just doing his best in that jungle of his. 11-0 creep farm start. Keep an eye on that GPM. See the progression that what you got ultimately has. As far as jungle assistance, and meaning assisting with the lanes and ganks, usually don't expect that from Warbeast. But he does hit level 6 at the same time, could be of assistance. Now the top lane, Ophelia coming in from the river with that Minotaur, but that's not going to fool Beaverbanger. Playing the Drunken Master, he's going to be more than fine as he falls back to the tower. So Ophelia instead will just have to head back to the jungle. Good attempt though. I picked up that illusion rune, so figured might as well. In that case, Waterside is blocking that lane camp, as we talked about, so having to deal with that. Bottom lane, Kinesis, Fuzzy Sloth down here and looking to keep Swiftblade active. Swiftblade forces a health push, and he is now out of regen, so we'll see if that has an impact or not as far as how things move on here. So, I mean, would it ever be... Well, okay, speaking of Warbeast, the interesting thing with him being a jungler, as the Kinesis is applying a good amount of damage right there, back to the middle lane actually, back and forth happening. Pebbles going up against Rhapsody, trying to chase him down, gets the chuck off, one more auto attack, no, not going to get it, health potion to use, and he will be fine. Magnus, just not enough mana, he needed 10 more mana for another stun, not going to happen, so nobody dying. But I was going to say, about a jungling Warbeast, the biggest difference is that he's not leveling his W, he's not leveling Battlecry, instead he's leveling up, of course, his Hellhounds, but also his passive in the Primal Rage. So, I know we have seen some jungling Warbeasts. It's actually, wow, middle lane, they stun in and Pebbles goes down. So, the wall off too late and good play from Nullstone. Would you ever see an argument for maybe getting the W in the jungle, or is it fair to...
So, I mean, there's two reasons why you'd pick up the Battlecry instead of the Primal Rage. Primal Rage, if you spec it, you actually farm faster in the jungle than actually if you picked up the Battlecry. You'd normally pick up the Battlecry if you want your lanes to win, and actually at the moment they're already winning, so there's less of a reason to pick up that. And second of all, normally you pick up the Battlecry is if you're sort of getting aggressive jungled on. So imagine if Ophelia was in his own jungle, then obviously the Battlecry would be useful for your own support to actually box out the enemy jungler. So for example, if Ophelia was in the enemy jungle, the Battlecry would obviously help Rhapsody to box out Ophelia in that respect. So that's the reason why we don't see Battlecry. Instead, he's been trying to focus solely on farm, and at the moment he's not farming too well actually. 220 GPM. Obviously, this camp has been blocked here, so that's obviously going to reduce his farming time. And at the same time, so I think he's had some bad camps as well. So, I mean, if there's one person who knows how to play Warbeast jungle, it is what you've got. So I can't really sort of criticise him too much in that respect. But yeah, he's had some bad spawns, so expect him to sort of slowly start to regain his farm. Yeah. And at the same time, I mean, Warbeast isn't the greatest of junglers in terms of sort of rapidity. Obviously, Tem is probably one of the best in terms of flash farming in the jungle, but Warbeast needs like an early start to slowly get back and farm quite fast. In the end.
Yeah, I remember when that Warbeast change happened. I mean, we saw him quite a bit. He was a go-to suicide option. He got nerfed for the most part, but then nerfed/buffed, because the nerf actually addressed his suicide potential, but the buff actually buffed up his jungling presence. It was like the balance team was making a point of, guys, Warbeast is a great hero, but use him in the jungle. That's where we really want you to use him, because they buffed up the Hellhounds. But again, that's where the downside kind of kicks in, as we were just talking about. It's like you maybe want to go the passive instead of the W, and not having that battle cry, it does change the power of the hero or the team presence of the hero quite a bit for those earlier stages. Now, with that said, he's still a very valuable option, and again, what you got knows what he's doing, so I guess enough about that in the end, but that is worth bringing up in the first place. I will say Kinesis, level 6 now. He's actually continuing the damage harassment on Azibba here. Azibba, though, gets the bottle as the Suicide Swiftblade, so he's going to be able to manage at least a little bit better now, despite losing out on the regen earlier on. But Kinesis, level 6, actually going the Ghost Marchers early here to help with that aggressive nature that he's looking for. Drunken Master also managing to be level 6 with that said against Polywog Priest up here. And how's that creep farm going, actually? 26-3 Drunken, 30-9 Polywog Priest. So Drunken Master is actually holding his own quite a bit. And you got to remember, Polywog Priest got ganked as I say that. Ophelia coming in, not the best creeps, though, to assist with the gank. So in the end, Drunken gets away. I guess that's where the Pollywog Priest is kind of a little bit interesting, because the Drunken Master is almost not a counter necessarily, but untouchable. Really screws over Pollywog.
No, definitely. And at the same time, obviously, Morph is still going to make Warbeast run at full movement speed. Obviously, the tongue tie is the only thing that's going to stop him entirely in that respect. But like I said, it's all about really the strategy and the draft that BMG is trying to implement here. It's not always about, obviously, what counters who. It's more sometimes about what's good in the strategy. In this case, Pollywog Priest fits perfectly. Add some good lockdown, add some pushing, and that's exactly what they want to do. Try and capitalise on the sort of greedy nature of Nullstone Gaming. But that being said, actually, Nullstone Gaming are actually ahead by 1,000 gold. Actually, top lane.
Yeah, perfect example right there. He pops the untouchable now. He's not going to go all out because those wards do a lot of damage, but the jolt is enough. Yep, it just wore off right there. And he was able to target him for the kill, so well played. Meanwhile, at the bottom lane, Kinesis Station smashing, not going to matter. Swift Slashes were used right there by Swiftblade to set up that kill. Warby's looking for some revenge. He needs to be careful, though, because, yeah, if he keeps committing right here. In fact, he even turns around for that creep kill, and I don't even know about that. Is that going to wear off any second? No, it stays in. It stays up just long enough. And the wall, wow, that wall was close, too.
Well. Yeah,
right there. But at least he lives. So good counter kill, though, coming out for Bad Monkey Gaming. At the bottom, not even a counter kill, I guess, 2 kills in together, so good amount of momentum from them.
So yeah, just when I was saying Nullstone Gaming were actually ahead in terms of the laning phase, obviously those 2 big kills actually did push BMG in favour there. So, and this obviously where it gets a little bit scary for Nullstone Gaming. They want to be ahead, they don't want to get behind before the push starts happening, because there's no really way they can sort of take these team fights effectively without the Magnus Portal Key, without the Shrunken Head on Warbeast and Drunken Master. And obviously they're so far away from that. Obviously BMG haven't started the push yet, so at least there is some more time to sort of, start pushing it and start farming up here on the Nullstone Gaming. But there's definitely a storm coming here for Nullstone Gaming, and they have to be prepared for it.
Oh yeah. Swiftblade roaming through the Legion jungle. He's actually looking for a camp that's maybe friendly enough to jungle up. Back to the middle lane, though. We do have initiation from Pebbles. Empath inside currently. Trying to assist, but actually trying to help get away. The wall off, beautiful. The Chuck as well. Yeah, and even a hasted Swiftblade was running in. Now he doesn't have his ultimate. But they're looking for a turn kill, actually. I don't think it's going to happen, however. In fact, Kinesis joining the party, so that'll be enough to scare them off. But yeah, big save. Good job by Empath also going inside. And obviously landing that wall off to prevent them from going further. Top lane, Ophelia and Pollywog Priest are here. No wards needed. That is going to be a free tower kill. Anytime you can get a tower kill, especially without using those priest wards, is huge. Because again, not only saves a cooldown for possible kill attempt later on, but hell, push to the next tower even and apply for more pressure. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they keep going, and in fact they are. I mean, they know 2 are middle, 1's bottom. Warbeast, you probably can assume, is not up here. He's probably in the jungle, which he is. Here we go. There's the secondary tower push now with the wards.
And this is exactly what I was talking about. This is the storm what I was saying, and there's not really a lot of counter push here for Nullstone Gaming. They've got a little bit of reps here, a little bit of Kinesis perhaps, but they actually are going in, Breaky.
Yeah, they want to make a fight happen right here, and a fight they will have. Ophelia goes down. Pollywog Priest is going to survive. Going to keep the wards there. Well, you can't decide on that, but the wards are still there. That was my point. I was going to say, keeping them to protect the tower a little bit. Again, you want to be careful with that sometimes, not getting in deny range and allow them to deny it. But that's not the case there. But still, pretty good defense put up by Nullstone. Stun away from Magnus in the meantime in the middle lane just before the stalagmites were to be coming out. So he gets away. But yeah, that storm comes. They at least address it a little bit right there.
No, yeah, it's great address, honestly. Although they don't have the greatest counter push, BMG were maybe a little bit too antsy in the sense that there was only 2 of them there, and just good rotation coming out from BMG. Actually, bottom lane, Swiftblade most likely going to be falling as well.
Swiftblade immediately regretted that decision.
Good hold there actually from Drunken Master, and it's still not over actually. Empath might be in trouble.
Yeah, the Warbeast ulti form is still up, but yeah, they're not going to commit to anything. So yeah, Swiftblade, he thought he might have been able to switch flashes perhaps, but that wasn't going to happen, and Drunken Master's assistance only secured the job. Drunken Master, he actually gets stunned, but not the biggest deal. The lunge going to be canceled right there with the line of sight. And now he's going in right here, actually. Pollywog Priest. Oh, he hit the Hellhound! He used his tongue tied on the Hellhound, unfortunately. That's got to be one of those another frustrating moments, man. Haxrin just simply misclicking. I've never done that ever, but I know others have, so it happens. So Drunken Master able to stay alive. Polywog Priest, 2,000 plus gold saved up. He is getting close to a portal key, if that's actually what he chooses to go for. I'm curious about that, because again, this is a short lane farming Polywog. Will he choose to go that portal key, you think? Will it be something else here?
I mean, I think it's got to be the portal key, because I mean, he could definitely have actually gone for the Ring of Sorcery, but seeing as Ophelia has picked up, there's no need for him to pick it up. And they do need some initiation. Okay, you know, Pebbles has got his portal key now as well, but it never hurts for Polywog's Priest to have one as well. So there is the portal key on Polywog Priest. It's going to help his actually lockdown. Actually, Swiftblade most likely going to be falling here as well.
He's trying to make the escape. He has some slashes, but at that point it would just be silly to use the cooldown, as he was not getting away anyway. It's a good find. What is he even doing over here in the first place is honestly questionable. But they find him for whatever reason. Zibby goes down. Now actually Empath in trouble all of a sudden. Magnus has a stun. Gonna use it right there. In comes the eruption. Nothing Empath can do about it except wall him off right there. And it will survive, or Empath will survive. In comes the Hex out of Magnus. He stopped the tongue tie, though. I think that was by choice, actually, as Drunken Master was on him. Magnus obviously still alive now, and maybe has a chance to come back in. Polywog Priest goes down with Drunken Master. They're still there. There's the stun from Magnus. Tank Effect falls. And that was just a little bit sloppy from BMG overall. Granted, they will kill Rhapsody when it's all said and done, but it's not over just yet even. Kinesis now hanging about. We got Drunken Master joining the party. Swift Slash is going out, though, and down goes Kinesis. So at the same time, Nullstone Gaming may be overstaying their welcome a little bit, and they end up falling. So a little bit sloppy play on both sides, sure.
Definitely. But I mean, Nullstone Gaming are definitely doing great here in terms of their strategy. I mean, they're actually ahead in terms of golden experience lead in this, and it's 13 minutes in. Honestly, I thought BMG would have started the sort of the pub train, but they just haven't at the moment, and they've only taken one tier tower in the top lane, and it's 13 minutes in. I expected BMG to have maybe a few more towers than expected at the moment, but I mean, it goes back to obviously the great play count from Nullstone Gaming. They are still ahead, but you know, there's still a long way to go. Obviously, the Shrunken Head isn't picked up from Wolbish yet. You know, Drunken Master's nowhere near from it either, so a few item pickups is definitely needed before they can actually effectively stop these pushes, particularly actually the portal key on Magnus. That would be a very, very big key for the next team fight here.
Top lane, Drunken Master is right next to the ward of sight, so he's thinking about maybe pushing up. It looks like he is, but probably going to be no danger, despite being spotted right here. But yeah, the double portal key potential definitely scary in favor of BMG, starting with that Polywog to be followed up by Super KG on Pebbles right here. As far as the Legion team, what you got, though, he's been I almost said quiet, but really not really. I mean, he's 3-0-1, so clearly he's been involved quite a bit. And at the same time, though, as GPM continuing to rise, 320 gold per minute. Yeah, Abyssal Skull, the Mystic Vestments, Steam Boots. So he's got that very solid core going on. Meanwhile, at the top room, Pebbles, Stalagmites. It does hit Magnus as he stuns it. Will it be enough to stay alive? The Astrolabe comes out. The Ophelia's touch. Somehow Pebbles lives. I say somehow, but that was Ophelia right there to save the day. Rhapsody now being chased. And actually the stun from Empath with the Essence Slick. Good job of Haxtrid. Communication definitely on the ball right there. The wards will be enough for the kill on Adrence as well. So, and they're actually going to do the Ancients. I was going to say, make more use of these wards.
That's quite cool, actually.
Well, actually, they want more kills, but...
Now, that's actually a good play there. But at the same time, it does keep BMG off Nullstone Games towers. And in the meantime, actually, Wolbish does take the tower, the tier 1 tower bot. But at the same time, actually, the BMG does actually negate the golden experience lead. But it's still not too bad. As long as Nullstone Gaming don't get behind in terms of the strategy here from BMG, they still are in obviously a good position to sort of take this game 3. But like I said before, there's still a long way to go before they can effectively defend these team fights and these pushes.
Well, yeah, you talked about Warbeast pushing that bottom tower, but again, this is also where you get to that point now. He is starting to level up that battle cry. He's got the 1 point into it. You know, eventually going to be maxed out once he hits level 15 or 14 even. So, yes, sure, they didn't have it during the laning phase, but they will have it going into the mid-game stage, assisting with pushing those towers, assisting in team by Swiftblade. You're going to be collapsed on, sir, and that's why they picked up Drunken Master. For that reason right there, they can still lock him down. It's not enough, though. I swear to God, these walls, man. Support just knows what he's doing. Exactly.
Exactly, man.
Every freaking time. It's got to be so frustrating playing against him.
I have to admit, there's quite a lot of signature heroes here on BMG. Obviously, you've got the Hookmeister of Super KG, the Wallmeister of sort of support, and the super hard late game carrier of Haxtrid, and it's probably the Chipper as well from Zibbe. So there's a lot of actually sort of signature heroes or sort of signature players here on BMG. Just,
that's true. Very true. You see double damage. Ion Stoned up. He actually used it right there, and actually Ion Stone's the Illusion rune in the end. Does Empath, that is. So And, you know, that's the great thing about the Ion Stone as well, is the fact that it doesn't even consume the rune. I mean, that's just so crazy to think about. Like, so he just used it right there, and then he actually picked up the rune to actually use those solutions to scout things out. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Magnus, he does get comboed, but not enough for the kill. He's able to stun away. Ophelia's presence wasn't enough. Couldn't get the lockdown in time, I guess. So he stuns away, and it's going to be fine. We talked about Pebble's portal key, obviously using it right there for a no-go. Magnus was trying to farm a creep or a jungle camp that wasn't here. But anyways, he is very close to the portal key, so understanding why he wanted to try to finish off that creep camp. But middle tower push, this is going to be a free one. Kinda, Magnus? Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Magnus doesn't have the portal key yet. Warbeast doesn't have the Shrunken. And actually he's gone for a Soul's Bulwark. I don't know if I actually agree with that choice, because there's a lot of lockdown here and a lot of sort of magical damage and teamfight potential from BMG. Yet he's still gone actually the Soul's Bulwark. So I guess we'll have to see how that's going to work. And actually, an interesting item pick up from Zibby, actually, portal key. I mean, the last time I remember a Swift play going portal key was actually Slicks back in the old Fnatic Rave days, actually. So we'll have to see how it works here in Game 3 of BMG.
Exactly the first thing that popped in my head as well. In fact, I think he would actually do that as, well, the carry player in that sense, you know, more the short lane farming. And but he gets the portal key on top of the Hell in the Black Legion, I believe is what it even was. So it was kind of that mix of, like, he's got a good amount of health earlier on, allowing it to be not afraid to get involved in fights, but he also had the portal key to get in there in the first place. So yeah, it might seem, again, one of those funky cases, but this is another case, man. I know Xibby's been always known as a pretty fun player to watch, entertaining, chipper, his first big hero, but he's proving more and more lately that, again, he doesn't care about what other people say. I mean, he's doing what he thinks is best, and you gotta love it. You gotta respect that. I mean, not every game we're gonna see a portal key Swift player, an Alchemist, Wretched Hag, but we do here. So portal key away from Pebbles. Yeah, he got the Stalagmites off and was able to use it in time. I mean, that's 4 heroes there, so the fact that he got away, pretty big deal, actually. That's a lot of resources used.
That would have been a big kill, actually, because like whenever Nullstone Gaming can get a kill on BMG, the biggest factor is obviously the golden experience sort of advantage from the kill is obviously good, but the biggest thing is delaying the push. Delaying the push is the key here, because obviously they're sort of buying their time. They're trying to get the Shrunken Heads on Drunken Master, trying to get the Shrunken Heads on Warbeast. They've got the portal key on Magnus now, and they've definitely got the late game potential. But it's just seeing if they can sort of survive here. And it's 18 minutes in, so they've sort of survived so far. So in that sense, they've obviously done quite well. But still, they need to get further ahead. They need to sort of delay it to the 20 minute, the 30 minute, to where they get the Shrunken Heads on Warbeast, and that's where they sort of hit their peak.
Yeah.
But for BMG, the peak is sort of slowly starting to hit now. They've obviously got the portal key on Polywog Priest, Pebbles, Swiftblade, and obviously it looks like they're going to be a Staff of the Master on Polywog Priest, and actually an Astrolabe on Ophelia, and they're looking to actually take the tier 1 bottom here as well. So Nullstone Gaming, they're most likely going to try and trade here with a tier 1 mid.
They are heading that way, but look who else is heading that way. Swiftblade also coming here, almost as if he's preparing for this to possibly happen. Yes, he's going to be in the vicinity as soon as Nullstone Gaming gets here. So yeah, very interesting actually. BMG, they actually are probably going to look to defend all of a sudden. I'm guessing they have TPs on them. Yeah, several of the heroes do. And in fact, TP's already trying to take place. If vulnerability goes out, it will scare off Nullstone Gaming, however. Pebbles, he's running right into them. But actually, yeah, portal keys being used, and no one going to initiate as a result. Polywog Priest is still down here at the bottom lane, but he's not going to push it outright. I mean, he does have wards if he really wanted to. But with the vulnerability, possibly, it might not be worth it. So, Tankafet is 0-3. We just got finished saying last game that Tankafet's one of these Ophelia players that definitely is one of the better ones we've seen on the scene. Yet, record states, at least again, this is obviously very recent, only 0-3 it turns out to be, as far as recent play goes. So, trying to change that up right here. Top tower, though, going down in favor of Nullstone. Beaver Banger leading the way. He is close to that Shrunken Head, so you stress that. Maybe on the Warbeast, you choose to go to Soulsborne, questioning that, but at least Drunken Master's going to get that here, and again, Warbeast definitely will certainly be looking to get that next. So these Shrunken Heads going to start popping up, and the chances for the Hellborn team are going to become a lot less, but chances here on Magnus in the middle lane, the lockdown successful, and that's the power of Polywog Priest. I mean, especially with an Invis rune, no chance Magnus had. Kinesis off to the side, he's going to be able to get out of there. Very good escape by him. It's fine for the time being. Rhapsody, though, maybe not as much. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so good pick off there, actually. And this is most likely going to actually turn into a tier tower mid, actually. A nice wall place here from support, actually. I don't know if that was placed before the pick-off from Polywall Priest in the middle lane, but nonetheless, a great wall sort of put here. It's going to offer him some nice vision here into the tier tower, but they are actually going to back off here and most likely go for a Congo kill. It actually was spotted by Drent's ward here, so most likely Nelson Gaming do know what's going on. It's being the top lane War Beast.
Yeah, I was watching the Conger kill, but sure enough, they are trying to go for the Coda War Beast. Now he gets the tower kill. If he can ulti form and get out of here, there's the ulti form. He's on the run, and I'm... okay, yeah, the portal key. He needs to dodge it, though, and he does. Here comes Polywog Priest again. He can't really hex in the TP. Is successful.
Oh,
what a getaway from what you got. And the
So
reason
big.
why that's so big, not only got the tower kill, but he distracts him from doing Kongor.
Yep.
On top of it all.
Wow. Great play, great play.
Oh, man, he's showing
yeah.
why he's so good on this hero. Plays like that.
But yeah, so Nelson Gaming have actually rotated over. That, as like you said, has actually stopped the Congo push. But one thing to know, actually, the tier 1 tower tier tower 1 mid is actually still up here. And as a result, actually, get an easy TP coming in from Polywog Priest, and they're still going to try and push on to this Congo fight. But Nelson Gaming, they're not going to give up easily. The counter wall was trying to sort of just take down this ward of sight, but support didn't want to sacrifice his positioning there. And as a result, we're just going to back off. And Nelson Gaming going to sort of scout with the walls of Wolves here, but a nice ward of revelation to spot them out in the end.
Takes out those Hellhounds, and they go back to it. Yeah, they're pretty confident that they can do this. And they can win a fight if need be. Untouchable, so the Hex is going to be mitigated right there. Pebbles in the background. He gets a big combo off right there. Kinesis is going to be locked in as well. However, Stasis Smash goes out. Going to be far for the time being. Warbeast in that ulti form. Slow slashes. A lot of creeps nearby, though, to mitigate the damage. Empath inside Swiftblade. And that's what we got here. Nobody dying for BMG just yet, whereas Rhapsody, the only one to die so far in the Legion team, it continues. Polywog Priest, War Trap is down. Drunken Master is going to fall. The port back attempt.
Oh my god.
With a nuke action coming out, gets the kill. Pebbles with the stalagmites. Beautiful cutoff on a Kinesis. Warbeast out of ulti form, and Bad Monkey Gaming is going to roll over this fight when it's all said and done. 5 for 5 for nothing. What am I saying? No, they get 5 kills anyways. They got 4 kills, but still.
Absolute disaster there for Nelson Gaming. They're looking so good after the great trade, obviously, the top tower. But honestly, it goes back to BMG having such great team fight potential there, and such sort of great sort of team sort of insight in that sense that Drunken Master popped his Drunken Head, and then everyone from BMG that they sort of dispersed, sort of went back, and then some great initiations come out from Pebbles, won that sort of team fight single-handedly, and Nelson Gaming, they just couldn't control and sort of lock down the sort of BMG team. Nelson Gaming don't have the Stronghold Head on Warby, so he was getting locked down. An average eruption coming out from Nelson, from Magmus, only got onto the Pebbles there. Sorry, and overall, just great team fight potential coming out from BMG, and as a result, they took the team fight and took the token. 5,000 gold lead ahead now, and 7,000 experience. And BMG, this is exactly what we expected, but maybe a little bit later than we expected. But Nelson Gaming still have a big fight on their hands right now.
Yeah. You see counter warding going on here. You talked about the Ward of Sight earlier. Drents picks up on that and actually is able to counter ward that Ward of Sight right there. So what tower got denied right there? That was the middle tower actually. Taking a deny. Top lane, Magmus is up here. It was almost seen by Ophelia, but I think is going to be fine in the end. But once again, here we are in the third and final game. It's already been a very tight series here in these first 2 games. Like I was talking about, I mean, we shouldn't be too surprised, and it's turning out to be a very close game number 3 now. Sure, the advantages for BMG, but hell, last game, Nullstone was basically down in stats the whole game, and ultimately won it in the end. So, obviously, it's still a long ways to go as far as I'm concerned. That 2,700 gold on Warbeast is also looking pretty damn good. I think he still needs. I want to say he doesn't. I want to say he's bought something, right? I feel like, wow, he's going Shield Breaker. Interesting. So he's just passing up the Shrunken.
I mean, I sort of criticised the Souls book, and I definitely criticised the Shield Breaker. Like, there's so much lockdown with the Polywog Priest, with the Tempest, with the Pebbles, with the Ophelia, with the Empath as well. So much lockdown, and like I don't understand why he's not picking up a Shrunken Head. He had such limited impact in the last team fight. I mean, if you look at the damage, he's only 8%, and that's how much sort of contribution he has had in these team fights. If he has Shrunken Heads, he's going to be dishing out a lot more damage, and he's not going to be sort of in a bad situation in terms of getting bursted down because he doesn't have a shrunken head. And I mean, what you got a great Warbeast player, but I have to admit some of his item choices are rather questionable. Middle lane though, Swiftblade might be dropping here. But,
oh no, Kinesis. He tried to time it. It was almost perfect to be fair, but it does get mitigated by the spin, and now Kinesis in a lot of trouble himself. Fuzzy Swap is going to fall. Again, yeah, I gotta think he was just trying to time it perfectly, and if he did time it perfectly, we'd be sitting here freaking out at the kill. So to be fair, it was very, very close, but in the end, it backfired. Bottom lane, the tower goes down as well, so Bad Monkey Gaming, a couple of very good scenarios right there. Situations even that they come out on top on with the hero kill and the tower kill, and they might just keep this going, I assume, to the middle lane perhaps. Pebble still has a token, remember, 2 minutes remaining on it, so maybe got a little bit more time to work with that. But I mean, I agree with you. It's one thing, sure, just because a player has played a hero so much and he's known for being great on it doesn't mean you can't at least critique those picks at least a little bit, because there is logic to that. I mean, the lockdown is stronger on the Hellborn side, and not having a shrunken head, very, very debatable. But Pebbles, in the meantime, is going to be caught up. Remember, he has a token, so they can't go all out here for this kill. They're not necessarily doing that. Will it be enough? Yes, it will. He does go down. The tower is going to fall, though. And yeah, I think BMG also pretty happy with that, too.
And talking of questionable item pickups, actually, Swiftblade actually picked up a Runed Cleaver. I mean, he picked up the Null, the Portal Key, but going Runed Cleaver this later on, talking of Swiftblade actually does get initiated on there, but Drunken Master does back off in the end.
That is odd. I'm getting to the point where he's just becoming one of these players. Just let it be. Just, you know, whatever he does, it's the boxing. I guess it's the Zive in this case, the Zive, because it's so odd seeing a Rune Cleaver this later on, especially after a portal key, as you pointed out. I mean, I guess I'm trying to think of logic, and I mean, maybe the logic is just simply they feel like if this game continues to go on, they're going to need some kind of farm potential, some carry potential. And so why not try to do that now on Zive, play into the Swift play, and this is going to help right here. Swift slash, it bounced to Magnus at the last second. Warby survives for now. Is he going to live? Polywop Priest, no. He finds him, gets the kill. Magnus also going to be caught out in the end. And it does end up beautifully for BMG right there. The near escape is unsuccessful for Nullstone Gaming. Man, that was close. Double damage on Ophelia, but that's not going to help her too much, as she's going to take the brunt of the burst right there and eventually fall. So at least they get a little bit of revenge. But clearly BMG coming out on top in that fight there. But yeah, again, though, going back to the Swift player, I think that has to be it, if anything, right? I mean, you don't get it for like the Swift slash impact of like, oh, they're all clumped up. I'm going to Swift slashes and expect the AoE effect to be big here. So I don't know.
No, I agree. And like you said, I think definitely the Rune Cleaver is the way forward, though. I mean, yeah, it's rather questionable, but at the same time, it does offer some kind of late game potential, actually. Because obviously, like if it does, get into the later stage of the game, at least there is some kind of late game potential with Swiftblade in that respect.
Yeah. And then he actually takes out the Legion Ancients right there. And going to fall back to his own jungle. So, I mean, again, his GPM has definitely shot up a bit. 363 gold per minute. It's going to continue to rise at this rate. Does have over 2,000 gold also saved up. So, yeah, maybe a little bit later as far as item progression because of how things are turning out here, but still going to be happening at this rate. Shield Breaker, I assume, is level... it's level 2, actually, at this point, so still needs a 3rd level before the idea of something like the Shrunken Head is even possible. But again, I wonder if he's even committed, or if he's even going to think about that at this point. If he's just going to keep for damage, maybe even finish like a Demonic Breastplate here or something. But we'll see if that actually comes into play or not. Arcana picked up by Beaver Binger playing the Drunken. So a Hellflower in the works for him. It just so happens a couple of games here when we see a Hellflower Drunken Master. Not your usually go-to follow-up to the Shrunken, but making sense here, I guess, for these players at least. But back to farm we go, apparently, between these two teams, 30.5 minutes in here in Game 3. A 15-9 hero kill lead for BMG, as well as the 8,000 gold and experience lead here at this point. Polywalk Priest, he still is working towards a staff, and in fact, he has enough gold for it now. If he actually was going to be going for that still. Okay, yeah, I believe he just got it right there. So Staff of the Master increases the amount of voodoo wars, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely, and that's actually going to help them break the base, which they've sort of tried a little bit, but they haven't really had great success in actually pushing the base in the end. But talking of item pickups, though, Hellflower most likely in the works for Drunken Master. We actually saw it in the last game, and I think the last game, I think you could maybe make an understanding of why he picked up. But in this game, I'm not too sure. Obviously, he's going to help against sort of bursting down the pebbles before he pops the Strong Head, and maybe help against the Swiftblade before he used the Blade Frenzy. But I think even like I don't know. I mean, I can understand obviously the Shield Breaker and the Salzburg are already picked up on Warbeast, but at the same time, why didn't Warbeast allow maybe the Soul's Bulwark on Drunken and then himself get a Shrunken Head? That's obviously dependent on what the sort of team's sort of decisions are, but the Hellflower, it's a little bit different, but it definitely can still work.
Yeah, well, he's got the level 3 Shield Breaker now with that said, so again, where does Warbeast go from here? If it comes to that, you figure that's at least the idea. And 350 gold printed as well, and it does feel like that's a little bit lower than what you would expect it to be at this point of the game. I mean, it's not like he's been struggling. He's actually had a pretty good game so far. He started off pretty good, and he's 3-2-1 right here, so not the worst necessarily, but maybe he does have to play a little bit more passive than he would like to because of the aggressive nature of this Hellborn team. And look at this, the Ion Stone gank. How about this? Support making use of the invis. Oh, the portal kick reaction! What? How do you react that quickly, man?
I don't know, man. He's on Red Bull. He's on Red Bull.
That was ridiculous. Maybe that was just coincidence. He was going to put it
man,
anyways.
that was reactions. That was reactions, man. Definitely. Like you don't put randomly in the woods, in the sort of the woods here. That was just insane amount of reactions right there, and he's playing on a little bit of ping as well, actually. He's playing on 220, so the reaction's got to be even that much better. So, big plays coming out from Cholo Simeon on the Magnus.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 190 ping right there, as you see. So, I'm so baffled by how quick that was. But anyways, in the meantime, in the middle lane, here comes a push from BMG. For the first time this game, really, you see them really going into the base. Of course, the staff of the Master Ward's helping with that. And those towers, or that tower even, is going to fall pretty quickly. No, he moves the Voodoo Wards off at the last second. I was kind of curious, but no, he puts it back on, and down goes the tower. So now the melee rack's exposed, of course, and this is where it could cause issues here for the Legion team, but no, they're going to fall back. The Voodoo Wards being on cooldown, might as well wait for the next set of cooldown here. Maybe even a Conquer kill before actually breaking into the base. Well, they got the tower kill, that's a good first step, of course, and eventually going further. But yeah, I mean, going back to that, I mean, I like the idea, though. I love seeing that from Empath, the smoke gank term that we use, of course. In that sense, he used the Ion Stone of the Invis Rune and used it on those 3 heroes, and it's basically like they were Revenants in a sense. We're able to go in there. Speaking of Empath, oh yeah, that's not going to be so sneaky. And she runs right into a death trap right there. Caster's Curse, I'm sorry, support. So, goes down, and another kill happening for Nullstone.
But yeah, I mean, the actual sort of smoke gank is quite strong in that respect, but obviously Veiled Rot isn't out yet, so you've got to make do with just the Iron Stone Invis, and it did quite well, but again, going back to those insane amount of reactions coming out from Magnus. So.
Yeah, again, so you got Warbeast at 352, but even Drunken, it seems like, I don't know if they're just not prioritizing farm on specific heroes, and maybe they're just all trying to get some good farm here, so it's just spread out, but I don't know, if you feel like, it feels like, especially Warbeast.
He should be higher. He should be higher. Like, I mean, if you sort of think of some other Warbeast players like Kaizu, he's around like 450 GPM at the moment. But at the moment, what you got just hasn't really been able to sort of snowball it and really take off. He has been sort of AFK farming for the last 35 minutes, and he just hasn't really been able to sort of snowball it and get that kind of farm. Obviously, like he has been going sort of Soul's Bulwark and Shield Break items instead of the Shrunken Head. So even in that respect, he should be farming a lot better than if he actually went for the Shrunken Head. And still only 360 GPM. He is, the highest GPM on his team, but I mean nowhere near compared to the Swiftblade that has actually rotated as the hard carry now on BMG.
Yeah. Here comes that Conqueror attempt. A little bit slow Conqueror kill from Nullstone Gaming, but you're gonna beat away at it and eventually get him killed at this rate. I mean, nothing's gonna happen from Nullstone Gaming, so this will definitely be a Conqueror kill. Swiftblade gonna get this token. It was Pebbles last time, but yeah, you see Swiftblade now. I mean, he's got that full geometry bait. Another nearly 2,000 gold saved up. In fact, over that now with the Conqueror kill. So, yeah, the Rune Cleaver pickup really proven more and more to be a very efficient choice for Zibby at that point. Especially when he got it, in the sense that, again, this game was still going on and they weren't going to get a victory in the near future. So, why not try to develop into more of a, we need to get some farm, so make it happen on Swiftblade kind of deal. So, thus working out here. Level 16 Warbeast here at the top lane. He's going to start falling back, though, for good reason, as Bad Monkey Gaming is making their way over. What's up?
No, that was just misclick, sorry.
I was like, well, you're like thinking about something or whatever. But
no, it was just
no.
misclick.
All right. Arcana, is that finished now? I think, yeah, or the Hellflower even. I think he just got to start Arcana on Drunken Master, so having that item will be big. Kinesis hasn't had the biggest impact this game, I'll say that too, for Nullstone Gaming. It feels like, Kinesis had that big burst potential and everything, and, we even saw that one earlier, again, not to have bad flashbacks for him, but tried to get Swiftblade and time it perfectly, just missed it, and outside of that, though, I don't really recall ever seeing any big attempts from Kinesis coming out here, so going to try to look for those opportunities. Hellflower finished on Pebbles as well, so Drunken Master gets one, so does Pebbles.
Yeah, I mean, and that's obviously going to be useful against like Swiftblade and Pebbles, but like we mentioned it before, probably maybe not the best item pickup, but obviously Shieldbreaker and Salzburg already on Warbeast, so it's kind of hard what else he could go for in that respect. But here is BMG, they are going to try and force high ground. The tier 3 tower is already down, but here we go.
Magnus stuns in, the wards are down. Drunken Master though with that untouchable, sitting on top of Swiftblade. Someone's kind of trapped in there. He is going to be end up dropping most likely, but he has that token. No, we get the Swift Slashes off. Never mind, or did he? Yes, he actually did use it right there. He stays alive in the long run. Drunken Master goes out. There's kind of two fights, though. It's hard to keep track ultimately what's going on. But actually, the melee racks are not going to end up falling, so nobody dying for BMG. They got Swiftblade low, but not low enough. And again, even so, he still has the token. So Drunken Master dying, no buyback, and actually BMG, I mean, are they going to even, yeah, they're probably going to just push for this top base now. They figure he probably would have bought back by now, I'm sure, if he actually had a buyback. So Magnus still has his eruption, though. That's important to keep in mind here. And actually, Warbeast has his ulti form with the Metamorphosis, so you can't be too certain that this is going to work out. In fact, eruption, no, that's just a simple animation. I'm waiting for that channel, though. You know it's going to be coming here soon. Stasis Smash. Not just yet, apparently. They're trying to time this a little bit better. And now he's not really hitting anymore. The trees are taken away. So now he's kind of exposed as Kinesis threw them away. A little bit awkward right there. I thought they would have gone in by now, to be honest. Okay, but Drunken Master is going to be up in 5 seconds, so this is what they're waiting for. Now they're going to be looking for that jump. There's the eruption. Channel Swiftblade kind of going back in. There's the setup. Perfect timing. Magnus gets it off. The Kinesis follow-up. Swiftblade, though, good for now. Pebbles in the background. He cuts them off. Rhapsody being the brunt of that. In the meantime, oh, the Warbeast is going to be saved by the Protective Melody. He got low initially, but not low enough. Going to be fine for the time being, but Hellborn team still sitting the ground, including Swiftblade in those front lines, taking staccato stuns. Nobody dying just yet. Finally, Warbeast goes down. He does have a buyback, but he won't have ulti for him, so don't expect it to be too useful until that's up. The melee Rax goes down. BMG, I mean, they definitely win that all in the end. That was a very slow game. In fact, they go right back in. They fake the fallback. No slow gaming. I don't think they were expecting that. Big mass control comes out, but the Swift Slash is coming back up. A lot of creeps. Magnus, he's going to be fine for the time being, but with Warbeast dead again, GG, well played. BMG is going to take game 3, and thus the series. And that was such a weird finish, man. I mean, it was like slow developing right there. But in the end, BMG just doing enough to hold off Nullstone and give them no chance at winning the fight right there. Yeah,
definitely. And BMG, I mean, their strategy did come through in the end. I mean, probably a little bit later than their peak than I expected, but like I said before, BMG Zibe did eventually transition into the sort of the late game carry with the Rune Cleaver, with the Geometer's Bane, and in the end, Nullstone Gaming they couldn't hold out. A few questionable item pickups, particularly on what you got. I mean, I love Nullstone Gaming; they're like a great team. I do like them as a team, but still, I think a couple of item pickups that definitely did hamper their chances in that game there, but nothing to take away from BMG. They had a strategy in mind, and they implemented it and executed it perfectly. So congratulations to them, and they will move on to Sunday.
Yes.
Sorry, to next week.
Until next weekend, yeah, until next Saturday. So with that said, we aren't going to get the U.S. versus U.S. matchup, unfortunately, but we do get, of course, BMG versus The Last of Us, and that's definitely a big deal, of course. So definitely looking forward to that. I'm actually updating the brackets right here, kind of giving you an idea of ultimately how things shaped up right here. So once I finish doing that, I'll show you guys on stream. Again, you can go to HauntTour.com. And, of course, as always, check it out for yourself as well. But Sync versus Willowkeeper, they're in the winter bracket finals. and they will be the later match on next Saturday. But the first match will be The Last of Us versus Bad Monkey Gaming. There you go. As you see right here, that's the journey they've taken to get here. The Last of Us, I mean, you know, Wop Dash earlier on today, yes, I mean, they won the first game. It was kind of unfortunate because the second game ended up being a forfeit victory, but still win nonetheless. Then they defeat Reason Gaming, though, 2-0 in that series. And again, we don't know exactly how that played out. Diglett, I know, was casting that, though, and but I think it's safe to say definitely it's a little bit of a surprising result right there. But they move on to now what's going to be a top 4 finish at least, if not more. BMG, on the other hand, they got to be feeling pretty good about taking the victory here, especially after that game 2, man, knowing that they were in the lead for the longest time and just could not go through. So that's how things are shaping up, though. As you pointed out, guys, next weekend is when things will continue here. As far as cycle number 3, that's, of course, 12 p.m. Eastern, 1800 Central European time on next Saturday. So, with that said, Mini Maggot, another weekend in the books here, and another great weekend at that. You got any final words, anything to say before we wrap up here?
No, just obviously congratulations to BMG. And that's it, really. Obviously, again, though, going back to sort of the competitive scene of HOM, it's still very much alive. So much fierce competition. Obviously, BMG eventually did take out Nullstone Gaming. So Nullstone Gaming, who did actually finish third in last cycle. So BMG, I mean, they have been sort of screaming a little bit more recently. So maybe that is the reason why they have taken the game against Nullstone Gaming. So obviously, they're going to be getting a little bit more money as well. Obviously, getting those dollar bills. And obviously, another thing to mention though as well is the Last of Us actually taking out Reason Gaming. Like again, like this competition in Diamond Division, like I just can't put a finger on who's going to win.
Yeah.
Obviously, maybe Zinc are definitely the favourites, and sort of maybe Tree, sort of the second tier. But any teams after that, it's so fierce, and that's what makes. I mean, to me personally, makes it so very interesting to sort of see and watch. You know, which makes the beauty of Diamond Division and competitive HON at the moment. To my opinion.
Absolutely, absolutely. So definitely looking forward to that continuing into the next week. Again, we got 4 teams remaining here. Sync versus Willowkeeper in the winter bracket finals. Also, of course, should be a great matchup